Hey everybody, it's Farmer Joe back from Guatemala. So I'm back. It's been amazing. We've been a month down in Guatemala. Thank you so much to Guatemala. You're amazing. And to everyone who helped make this possible here at the farm and family, took care of our childs and everything. And so over the course of the next couple weeks, I mean, it's spring happening here. It's March, and it's March. Tomorrow is March, and already I saw the first geese flying overhead. And so that's a sign to me that it's going to be a relatively early spring. And so it's sort of kicking in my spring hormones, getting ready to rock. So what does that mean? That means we're going to be setting up tables in here along that edge bed. We'll be ripping out the spinach, putting in some tables, like heated tables, so that we can start the very first lettuces and all, and like arugula for transplanting and stuff like that. Because part of our strategy this year has been to try to close the food gap of the year and have local food available 42 weeks out of the year. So for the first time ever in my farming career, we are starting our CSA February 29th, and I love that it starts on a leap year day. And so, well, that means we got to have stuff to feed people, right? Which is great because it's early spring this year. And so with a bit of luck, next week or the week after, we'll be putting the plastics on the tunnels, which are the low-tech structures that we use to grow stuff outdoors. So that'll start thawing, melting the snow, thawing the ground. And but that's always, we're always adapting. We have the plans, but we're also adapting. So I'm thinking, okay, early spring, get the plastics on the tunnels early. Oh shit, that means I gotta make sure I have seedlings ready extra early. So I need to be starting my stuff this week so that in a month from now, we've got these nice healthy seedlings ready to plant into the tunnels and ready to be harvested for the winter, the Deep Winter CSA, which at that point will be more like the spring CSA. And because it's this, like, the most challenging time for local eating is actually not the middle of winter. The most challenging time is the very, very early spring. It's that gap between, okay, our greenhouse crops, like under here, we've got all these amazing, you've probably seen videos of this. We've got amazing stuff. We'll be looking at this in a future video. Here we've got spinach, we've got lettuce, but like all this stuff is going to be ready in March and April. And the stuff in the field's not going to be ready until mid or end of May. And so the gap that we're trying to close is that sort of like end of April, early May gap. And that's why we're really trying to focus on extra early crops planted in tunnels outside and transplanting crops that usually we would direct seed. That's going to give us a whole another level of speed and advancement on our season. So instead of direct seeding the arugula, which means that we use a seeder that we walk along and push and the seeds go directly in the ground, we're going to be transplanting the arugula, which means we're going to plant them in trays and then plant it out by hand in the field so that it's ready extra early. So yeah, that's what's up right now. Yeah, spring started to pick up. Got a couple projects on the go. Also hiring, so we're doing a lot of interviews. Usually our process for hiring is like we have a brief video conference on Google Meet, and then we have them come out to the farm for a working interview, and that's awesome. And then we get to see, how we work, because farming is a physical job, and so we can like talk all we want, but if we're not actually doing work together, then we have no idea what the dynamic is like, and is it fun to work together, and is the person skilled and strong and speedy and all that amazing, awesome stuff that we're looking for. So let's see what else is going on at this time of year. So we got the Winter CSA starting up for the first time ever, end of February. Wow, we're hiring. We got the first crops that are going to get seeded. Eventually in here, we're going to actually put up a plastic probably on the 4th or 5th arch to separate the space so that we can actually only heat like part of the greenhouse so that we can have our seedlings growing in part of the greenhouse instead of all of the greenhouse. Oh, speaking of seedlings, this year for the first time ever, our greenhouse tomato seedlings are being grown by another farm, Felmo Savar. And that's awesome because, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I was in Guatemala when the tomatoes needed to get started. And so they're starting the seedlings in their growing space, and then they'll be coming here in end of March and getting planted in the greenhouse. So yeah, anyway, I know I'm blabbing at this point, but it's a lot of preparation. It's a lot of, this is like that transition zone between like, oh, like this is our last chance to get everything ordered and purchased and like get all our ducks in a row, you know, in terms of seeds, in terms of fertilizers, in terms of sprays, in terms of employees and clients and, you know, everything we need to order, because in about a month, stuff is going to start picking up and it's going to get busy. And now is that transition time between now just thinking about it and planning it and actually doing it. And so that's what we're up to. And I hope you enjoy this long-ass ranting video. And we'll see you soon. So, bye-bye.